What if there existed knowledge so dark and forbidden that merely attempting to comprehend it could shatter your mind? Hastur, the King in Yellow, represents far more than a simple figure within Lovecraftian mythology. He embodies secrets so ancient and devastating that reality itself begins to crumble in his presence. Little known by name but deeply feared by those who have delved into his mysteries, Hastur has left an indelible mark on the genre of cosmic horror. His influence challenges human perception and drives the brave or foolish into unavoidable madness. In this analysis, we will uncover the deepest and most disturbing secrets surrounding Hastur. His connection to the cursed play The King in Yellow, his enigmatic relationship with the lost city of Carcosa, and how his influence has corrupted the minds of those daring enough to seek the truth. But beware, what you're about to discover could forever change the way you see reality. To fully understand the scope of horror that Hastur represents, we must first trace his origins, which begin as a dark echo in the pages of Ambrose Bierce's work. In 1886, Bierce published his haunting story, An Inhabitant of Carcosa, where a man wanders through a desolate landscape of graves, dead trees, and moss-covered stones until he uncovers a terrifying truth. He is dead, and he has been walking through the enigmatic city of Carcosa. Although Hastur is not mentioned directly in Bierce's story, Carcosa becomes the first pillar of the myth that would later be associated with him. This concept of a city existing outside of time and space, encapsulating decay and death, provided the seed that Robert W. Chambers would transform into something even more disturbing. In his groundbreaking 1895 collection, The King in Yellow, Chambers elevated these concepts to new heights of horror. He linked Hastur to a sinister play of the same title, which possesses the power to destroy the minds of those who read or witness it. While Chambers does not fully develop Hastur as a character, he places him at the center of a universe of despair, madness, and mental corruption. Within these stories, The King in Yellow and Carcosa intertwine, creating the foundation for what Hastur would eventually become, an entity that personifies the complete loss of control over reality, a symbol of cosmic decay and inevitable doom. What began as a whisper in Bierce's work became, in Chambers' hands, the core of a disturbing mythology that has deeply permeated the essence of cosmic horror. This evolution demonstrates how literary ideas can grow and mutate, becoming more powerful and terrifying through successive interpretations. The King in Yellow is not merely any theatrical piece. It serves as the channel through which Hastur exerts his influence, shattering the minds of those who dare to read or witness it. This play represents the heart of Hastur's myth, transforming him from a forgotten god or distant figure into a tangible force capable of corrupting reality itself. The play operates on multiple levels of horror. Psychologically, it gradually erodes the reader's grip on reality. Existentially, it challenges fundamental assumptions about existence. And metaphysically, it suggests that knowledge itself can be a weapon against human consciousness. The cursed play begins as apparently harmless entertainment, but over time, characters who read it start to notice something disturbing. The reality around them begins to change. The lines between the real and the imaginary blur in a subtle yet relentless way. This gradual transformation is particularly unsettling because the change is imperceptible at first, and by the time victims realize what's happening, it's already too late. The process mimics real psychological disorders and suggests that our perception of reality is more fragile than we believe. This process of gradual disintegration resembles the effects of certain mental illnesses, such as schizophrenia or dissociative disorders, where individuals slowly lose touch with the world as they once knew it. The human mind, when faced with the unknown, tries to reorganize information to make sense of it. However, in the case of The King in Yellow, this natural process becomes corrupted, leading characters into a state of mental chaos where what once seemed logical and stable becomes a distortion that defies logic and severs any connection to reality. One of the most devastating concepts presented in The King in Yellow is that not everything that can be known should be known. The characters who attempt to delve deeper into the play's secrets do so with a mixture of fascination and terror. They want to know more, but the cost of that knowledge is their sanity. This presents a fundamental paradox of human nature. Our insatiable curiosity often drives us toward knowledge that may ultimately destroy us. Throughout history, humanity has relentlessly sought to expand its horizons, discover the unknown, and challenge the boundaries of science and understanding. The King in Yellow reminds us that not all knowledge leads to enlightenment. Some secrets are meant to destroy us. The characters, in trying to comprehend the incomprehensible, find themselves trapped in a cycle of self-destruction. This concept extends beyond fiction into real-world considerations about scientific ethics, information overload in our digital age, and the limits of human understanding. There may be truths our minds simply cannot process without devastating consequences. The pursuit of truth in its purest form can lead to the annihilation of the mind, the loss of the self. This is perhaps the most terrifying aspect of Hastur's influence. As characters plunge deeper into the King of individual identity, it becomes clear that there is no escape. As characters delve deeper into the King in Yellow, to unravel the reality and identity of its readers, it traps them in a cycle of madness that repeats their identity. This represents one of the darkest humanity's fear of inevitable collapse of individual consciousness, the irreversible nature when confronted with cosmic truths, and the concept of psychological human identity that cannot be tied to the stability of our perception imposed by the King in Yellow. We define ourselves serves as a metaphor for through our experiences and memories. Some relationships irreversibly, and no matter our understanding of our place we cannot return to who we were and our sense of continuity. This resonates deeply with real when these foundations crumble. Of trauma, so does our identity, and the painful acquisition of identity in the King in Yellow. The play offers no redemption. What we are as individuals, and there is no escaping the consequences of having seen beyond what the human reality can crumble. Then identity, which depends on that nature, also reflects the inevitability of fate, risk of collapse, and the human fear that certain paths in life, certain thresholds of knowledge, cannot be undone once crossed. The city of Carcosa serves as a powerful symbol of the inevitable decay of what was once glorious. This lost and decaying city on the shores of the Lake of Hali represents the ruin of any attempt to reach paradise or divine perfection. In the mythology of the King in Yellow, what was once glorious and perfect is now in ruins, consumed by corruption and madness. This teaches us that perfection is temporary, and even the highest achievements are subject to decay, that hubris leads to downfall as attempts to transcend human limitations often result in destruction, and that beauty and order are fragile as chaos always threatens to reclaim what we've built. Carcosa functions as a distorted reflection of human civilization and aspiration. Characters seeking answers in this ruined city find no enlightenment, only despair. Instead of discovering ultimate truth or salvation, they encounter a broken reflection of their own crumbling minds. The concept of Carcosa echoes real historical examples like lost civilizations such as Atlantis or the Library of Alexandria, fallen empires like Rome and Babylon, and personal ruins of individual lives destroyed by ambition or forbidden knowledge. While Hastur originated in the works of Bierce and Chambers, H.P. Lovecraft later incorporated this entity into his broader cosmic horror mythology. In Lovecraft's universe, Hastur became one of the great old ones, ancient, powerful beings that exist beyond human comprehension. Lovecraft's interpretation added new dimensions to Hastur by giving him cosmic scale as a universe-threatening entity, ancient origins with prehistoric significance, cultist worship from human followers, and a place within an interconnected mythology. As part of a larger pantheon of cosmic horrors, Hastur's influence has extended far beyond literature into role-playing games like Call of Cthulhu, film and television adaptations, digital media, including video games and online content, and academic study through scholarly analysis of cosmic horror themes. This widespread cultural impact demonstrates the enduring power of these archetypal fears and concepts. The King in Yellow and Hastur's mythology raise profound questions about the nature of reality, including the difference between subjective and objective reality, the role of consciousness in shaping what we perceive, and whether collective delusions can become reality. In modern terms, the King in Yellow can be understood as a memetic hazard, information that is dangerous to know. This concept has gained relevance in our digital age, where information spreads rapidly and can have profound psychological effects. Consider how modern phenomena parallel the play's effects: viral misinformation that spreads and changes behavior, psychological manipulation through media designed to alter thinking patterns, information warfare that uses knowledge as a weapon, and digital addiction created by content designed to be irresistibly consuming. The themes explored in Hastur's mythology remain relevant today through information overload that can be paralyzing, virtual reality that blurs real and artificial experiences, social media platforms that can distort perception and identity, and artificial intelligence with the potential for inhuman intelligences to exceed our understanding. While The King in Yellow is fictional, the psychological processes it describes are real. Recognizing when we're being overwhelmed by information or when our grip on reality is slipping can be crucial for mental health. Warning signs include persistent confusion about what's real, gradual isolation from normal social connections, obsessive focus on disturbing or incomprehensible information, loss of personal identity or values, and feeling trapped in repetitive thought patterns. Real-world strategies for maintaining mental health when confronting disturbing or overwhelming information include grounding techniques that connect you to immediate physical reality, maintaining social support through trusted friends and family, practicing intellectual humility by accepting that some things are beyond human understanding, balancing information consumption by limiting exposure to disturbing content, and seeking professional help through therapy when needed. These protective measures acknowledge that while knowledge can be dangerous, we are not powerless against its effects. The mythology of Hastur and the King in Yellow has profoundly influenced horror literature, with countless authors drawing inspiration from these concepts. Philosophical fiction exploring the nature of reality and knowledge, psychological thrillers about the fragility of the human mind, and science fiction tales of dangerous knowledge and forbidden discoveries. Beyond literature, these concepts have shaped popular culture through references in films, TV shows, and games, academic discourse in psychology, philosophy, and literary criticism, artistic expression in visual art, music and performance, and internet culture through memes and online communities, exploring these themes. In our current era of information abundance and digital connectivity, the themes explored in Hastur's mythology are more relevant than ever, addressing fake news and misinformation that distorts reality, social media echo chambers that can warp perception, technological advancement that outpaces human understanding, and global communication that enables the rapid spread of ideas and their consequences. The journey through Hastur's mythology is not merely a descent into madness, but a confrontation with the depths of human existence. This entity, cloaked in mysterious robes and wearing a pale mask, symbolizes humanity's deepest fears: the loss of reality, despair in the face of the incomprehensible, and the sense of powerlessness before forces beyond our control. However, while Hastur embodies these terrors, the stories offer us something beyond darkness. Facing what we do not understand is part of our nature, and though forbidden knowledge and hidden secrets can be dangerous, they also drive us to grow and evolve. The terror that Hastur generates serves as a reminder that fear and uncertainty will always be present in human experience. But our ability to choose how we respond to these challenges is what truly defines us. The ultimate lesson is not one of despair, but of resilience. Hastur challenges us to look beyond the visible, to accept that the world is full of mysteries we may never understand, but also to recognize that we have the strength to endure. By doing so, we find power within ourselves, not by avoiding fear, but by facing it and continuing forward. Through chaos, madness, and uncertainty lies the opportunity to transcend our limitations, uncover new truths, and build a path toward understanding. The darkness that Hastur represents is real, but so is the human capacity for growth, adaptation, and hope. In the end, the mythology of Hastur and the King in Yellow serves as both warning and inspiration, a reminder of the dangers of forbidden knowledge, but also a testament to the indomitable human spirit that continues to seek truth, even in the face of cosmic horror. The yellow sign may mark the path to madness, but it also illuminates the strength found in confronting our deepest fears, and emerging, if not unscathed, then at least unbowed. For those interested in exploring these themes further, consider reading the original works by Ambrose Bierce, Robert W. Chambers, and H.P. Lovecraft, exploring academic analysis of cosmic horror and its psychological implications, examining how these themes appear in contemporary media, and studying philosophical texts on the nature of reality, knowledge, and human consciousness. Remember, knowledge is power, but wisdom lies in understanding the appropriate limits of that power.